All right, folks, start with this is a Perception kayak. It's 10 foot long. Like I said, I love it. I love the thing. But here's the original seat right here, and you can see what I'm talking about. The front of it's hiked up, and in the back it's at a downward angle, and the back of the seat's too much of an angle for me. Now I'm just talking about me. So very uncomfortable as far as fishing goes. Now as far as paddling around, it's fine, but I'm not worried about comfort. I'm worried about being efficient. It's a 5/4 board. It's 1 inch by 5.5 inches wide, unless it's wet, and then it's 5 5/8, 5 3/4, but they're supposed to end up being 5.5 once they're dried out. Anyway, there's a recess here and one here, and they go back 2 inches on each side. So I round my tape up in here far as it would go, and then measured from there to the face of this front side. That way it would enable me to get the board in there. Okay, but I did have to rip it down 5 inches wide to get it into this. Once I did that, I located the center, mounted this plate right here, and then with a hose saw, 1.5 inch hose saw, I drilled a hole through the hull of this boat, because there's a stem connected to this base plate for this seat to set down in like that. Now it will swivel a little bit. Of course, you don't want to swivel all the way around. You could tip your kayak, but now I got a little bit of swivel right here. I'm up higher, and the seat's in the right position in accordance to the pedals for my height. And I'm just 5'9", and I weigh about 185 pounds, so I'm not that big a person. But I think that's going to be the deal right there. There's nothing wrong with modifying. The seat don't match, I know, but it's kind of ugly, but I am too. The main thing is to be able to fish efficiently and comfortable. So we're going to take this out on the water and see what we can do. Oh, it's hot. Well, what's the deal here now, Lucille? Woo! We're afloat. Oh my goodness, folks, we've done it. We've done it, no doubt. There's a stop sticking out right here. Now I don't have a depth finder, but what I'm going to do is take a crappie jig. I'm just going to take a crappie magnet and make a few casts. First, I'm going to make a cast when I get up here to it and see how deep the water is. Count it down to the bottom. You know, a 1/32 on 2 pound line falls about a foot a second. And I'm going to fish around this stop a little bit and see what the deal is. Something is going on about this stop. I do know that. Now this is just 2 pound test vicious on a Fago LT 1000, small reel, limber rod. It's a Canyon Creek super ultralight rod, 7 feet long. And with 2 pound test line, I always tie a Palomar or a trilene knot. And that's just a crappie magnet with a 1/32 ounce jig head, but I'm going to open up. Where's my pliers at? There they are. I'm just going to open up this hook a little bit. It's a size 4, but I'm going to open it just a tad, like that, so it don't slide in a fish's mouth, so to go ahead and hook him up. But I don't know. Let's make a cast around this stop, and I'm going to count it down to see how deep the water is. See, even though I'm running my jaw, I'm counting right now. It's fell about 6 feet. It's about 8 feet deep right here. Ooh, we better tighten that drag up. I'm just gonna fish as deep as I can and try to locate some fish out here without a depth finder. Well, it makes it difficult, but all I have to do is get a bite or two and it's game on. I'll use my instincts after that, and then we'll catch a few out here. There we go. Whoa, here. Look here, folks. Oh my goodness, I hope I can keep this fish on right here. I hope I can keep this fish on. This is a big crappie. Look here, what a crappie. Quit. Oh me. I need me a little net in this kayak, yo. Look here, what a crappie. That is a big crappie right there. That crappie there is close to about 14 inches, 14.5 inches long. That's what I've been after out here. That was my intentions instead of bass, but really the main thing, I wanted to see how this kayak would work after I modified it. Now this tree right here, let me see if I see any more like it. I don't see another one like it in this whole lake. Is over, right here at the end of these limbs right here, is over 14 feet of water. It's that deep right here. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to focus in this area right here for more of these. That is a big crappie. That's what I was wanting to catch. Let me back off this just a little bit. Oh me, what a crappie. Look at there, look at there, look at there. So we're doing a little bit of both. You know, you have to, going back in there, you about have to figure out a new place like this. You have to do a little of this, a little of that. You can't just run in there and say, hey, I'm going to catch crappie, or I'm going to catch me some big, huge shell cracker. If you don't know they really exist, there's no way you can achieve that, really. There we go. Oh my, my, my. Look here. Look at here, folks. Got me another crappie. Come on in here. I ain't gonna mess with him much. Look at there, look at there. I get excited when I find a new place that has crappie. I do it every time. I can't help it. I think crappie are, I mean, they're one of the most beautiful fish on earth, really, to me. Yep. Let's let him go. We know where they're at. And I lost my other jig. I caught that one on a hand-tied jig. Red and chartreuse. Right there, and that's a number 8 sickle hook. It really doesn't matter, a crappie, an active crappie. If it comes by a crappie a certain way, yeah, y'all, I mean, I have trouble out here too, folks. But if it comes by a crappie a certain way, a certain speed, he don't care what color it is normally. He really don't. Whether it be a natural color or the watercolor is what's important. And you can see this water is real clear. And I caught him on a chartreuse with a red head, which is really a muddy watercolor. There's one. Golly. Did y'all see that? He almost jumped into the camera. That's a pretty good fish right there on the crappie jig. 2 pound line. Oh, me. Now that was fun. Come on in here, boy. It's not a bad fish at all right there. I thought it was a crappie. I still got crappie on the brain, folks, but that's good enough. That fish is close to 14 inches. Nice little bass. Let's let him go. Y'all excuse this video. There's not much to learn right here. This is just kayak fishing. Really, it's really about me exploring places, areas that I've been wanting to get a boat into, but can't. Well, this is one of my favorite smallmouth baits. I mean, to me, I have a tremendous amount of confidence in a 4-inch Zoom meathead worm. That's what that is. And that's a size 1 Gamakatsu. And I'm still using this 1/32 ounce bullet weight right here. So I went to it and made a couple casts. And the second cast I made, it got bit. Just a little different presentation. A lizard's hard to beat, especially a 4-inch Zoom lizard. I mean, in a green pumpkin. Of course, this is a green pumpkin too. The reason I'm using it is this is real clear water. Whoops, so I'm having to make a long cast. These types of days right here, it is your percentage. You're gonna raise your percentages way up by fishing small line like this, little baits. You're gonna get more bites, and in the bites you get, you'll probably catch a couple good fish. There's a fish, folks. Man, I can't tell you how that little fish is fighting. Golly. What are you doing, boy? Get on back here. That's a little better fish. Come on back up in here now. That's a little bitty better a fish. A little better quality. That's what we're looking for. Now that is a pretty little bass. Let's let him go. That fish is close to 13 and a half inches. There's a fish. Got him. I've changed my tactics up right here a little bit. Golly, you ain't that big. But you don't know it. Come on back over here. What are you doing? Well, there seems to be plenty of these right here. 11, 12-inch fish in here. Now, I mean, plenty of them. Let's let him go. All right, what I'm using now, and I'm going to stick with this a little bit. Let's back off this bank a little bit. Is 8-pound braid, and this is an 8-pound leader, fluorocarbon leader, with a 1/32 of an ounce bullet weight, folks. And I have it. I run a rubber band through it. You can see when that bass jumped, he shook it way up here, but you can just bring it right back down to the head of the lizard. It's a rubber band. It won't hurt your line. After you catch a few bass, if you decide to retie, you can. Just slip that thing back up the line like that, retie and slip it back. But I'm using a 4-inch Zoom lizard with a size 1 Gamakatsu EWG. That's all I'm doing right here with a light action rod. Now, I love this rod because it's real light. Real lightweight. Steve Colvin in Huntsville, Alabama makes these. He makes all sorts of whatever you want, customized, whatever action, whatever length, he can make it. Sow belly rod, real light, 6.5 feet, medium action. It's a medium action. And I have my favorite reel right here, a Fago 2500 size. And it's a real light outfit. And I'm just, right here the water's probably 4 or 5 feet deep. I'm just hopping that bait along real slow as possible. It's hot, folks. Slow is better. Not a breeze blowing out here. So the slower you can work a bait, the better off you'll be, no matter what it is, when it's this hot. But let's venture on up and see if we can't connect into a little bigger bass. There's fish. Oh, man. I thought he was a good one the way he hit. He hit on out a little bit deeper, folks. Still fat, so I tell you, come on in here. He's doing some fighting. I'll hand them one thing. They're pretty little fish. Let's let him go. Go on back.
Oh, no. Oh. Boy, that hurt. You just gonna stand there and watch me be struggling out here, old, hurting everywhere, every joint in my back. You gonna just stand there and watch me and laugh. You're mean! I'm too old to be doing this kind of stuff.
Woo! I enjoyed that, folks. Even though it's hot, I don't know, it's probably, I'm guessing probably about 104 degrees, the heat index. It's been a hot day, but the main thing I wanted to do was get my kayak prepared properly, because a friend of mine, he claims that there's a lake about the size of this one, maybe not quite as big, that's got 2.5 and 3 pound crappie in it. So that's why I was so eager to go ahead and get this kayak set up just right, because the only way you can get into it is with a kayak. But I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for the great comments. Hey, woo. I'm talking.
Whoa! And remember, go fishing when you can, because there's good food